Okay, sure.
Yeah, Rome was definitely it was definitely it. What's up, fight fans? Chris here, Combat Loop MMA. You know what it is. We got throwing them hands. He's here, and we're going to be talking about some fist fighting, some good old-fashioned fist fighting at that. This last weekend, we had Rome. We have 3 other awesome events coming out past there. We have some fights that we would make. Maybe if we're matchmakers, we have some fights that we would make. I want to go into it first, though. We're going to talk about this explosive card in Rome. I thought this Rome, man, BKFC is exploding all over the world, and Rome was no different. This was an awesome, awesome fight. I thought the main event was great. I didn't really think, I thought there was other parts inside the event besides the main event, but still, seeing someone from that area win in Rome, it was really, really cool. Alexis Katara, he's a really cool old UFC veteran. Then you have the co-main event, which I thought Bonner kind of won that fight just because of the damage. But I understand pressure. I understand fights. I understand that he kind of was pressured the whole time and kind of ran from him. But to me, that's kind of the fight game. Then that's where people disagree. But then we also had Halla come in, and we had other fighters that come in and did such a good job on that card. So what do you think about BKFC Rome, my dude?
Wow, it was another big card, man. It was exact like it was another huge card. It's like every single time it's just they're just getting bigger and bigger. Like this one in the Coliseum, like it really had an authentic fist fight, old school gladiator feel about it. Um, the first thing I thought about when you're talking about Rome though was that split of the eyelid on Hayes Hempe.
Woo!
That was I don't know how that happened. Oh man, that was rough. But man, I'm surprised they let that fight go on for a little bit longer than I expected it to, just because of where it was. And had that fight continued, I think Hayes would have got it done because he was still fighting hard even with that split, and he was feeling the pressure. He probably thought I need to get a finish, and unfortunately, they cut that one short.
Yeah, I just thought as a whole, I thought the card was really, really great. We had some really awesome knockouts. When you get into BKFC and you get into that dirtiness of it, you're going to get cuts. You're going to get broken noses. You're going to get faces beat up. I mean, it's kind of wild to see. But the stars were out there. I mean, you had Christine Ferreira, you had Johnny, uh, Mr. Gamboli. You know, you had people out there that are really big stars. And again, I thought that was to me, was one of the big ones. I thought we had to get out there. Are you looking forward to anything else out of these states? I mean, is there anything I want to see, like the Ireland cards? I want to see the Scotland cards. I want to see the England. I know we already did the Manchester, but seeing those cards, I love seeing them. But I want to get outside of that. I want to see all over and to keep rapidly growing the sport.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I'm gonna be biased. I want to see this a Toronto card. Give me a
Ah,
Montreal card. Give me something close. We need to expand on this side of the border because people aren't really watching it over here. I'm trying to bring the awareness, but I
is
feel
how's the
like a lot of
sanctioning
people
over
in,
there? Is it hard? Is it hard to get sanctioned over there?
yeah, yeah, that's the problem, man. It's a little bit too liberal over here, especially in Ontario. It'd be tough. It really would be tough. Um But we're missing out. We're missing out big time, and I feel for my people. We're like everywhere else is getting it.
Yeah.
Italy, everywhere else is getting it. So, but I'll travel wherever I got to see some fights too. Like you can't miss it, and seeing it live is just a different experience.
1,000,000% my dude. Which fight on that card caught you off guard? Or which fight off that card was like, all right, this guy is actually ready to go to the next level?
Well, Gaffey looked really good. I expected him to pretty much do what he did, and he did it, and he looked good doing it. So I expect him to continue. I think he's going to be a hot prospect. I was honestly I'm thinking about the Tenaglia Bonner fight. I'm kind of with you there. Franco pushed the pace. They do score it round by round. So, I'd like to watch it back and actually try to score the rounds and see what they thought on that. But yeah, like if you look at the picture afterwards and you look at it and you say who won this fight, Bonner looks like he wasn't in a fight.
Yep. That's
His
sometimes
hand
what
was a little bit swollen. That's about
yep.
it.
I wish he would have put the pace on him a little bit more, like round 3. But I understand Franco, dude. That dude's an animal. He was going to try to knock your head off in the first round, so you kind of have to keep it moving. I understand let him get the first round and then start putting it on into the second and the third. So if that was the plan, because I guarantee you that dude carried so much power involved inside of it. So Rome as a whole, to me, showed out. It was a great card, and to be honest with you, I was really, really excited about it. Now, the next card this week, we have Mohawk versus Zach Cavender. Do you know anything about this Mohawk dude? He's on a tear right
Oh
now.
yeah.
Mohawk's a bad, bad man. What do you think about just the main card? I think it's going to be really, really great. But the main event with Mohawk and Zach, what do you think about that fight?
I'm excited as hell about that fight, my brother. I love me some Mohawk. That guy's a top contender, and I feel like after this fight, like to see somebody that moves like that at cruiserweight, like he and if you look at his punch totals, it's ridiculous. Like the guy's throwing like 400 punches in a fight and like 2 rounds. So
It's crazy.
yeah, yeah, his look at his totals. Check him out. I actually had him on yesterday. Um
You did?
s-
Yeah,
yeah,
his one of his last fights when he jumped on the dude from the bell, dude. He was like fighting, he just jumped on him. You're like, bro, how many punches can you throw within 30 seconds? It's more of the question. I think that might be a record from throwing it. He's a fucking cool dude, man. Like I really liked him. A very energetic guy. He brings a lot of good to the sport. I think he brings very, very good eyes to the sport, and I think he only expands it.
yeah. And actually he did mention that he wants to set the record for most punches landed as a cruiserweight in a fight. That's like a record he's got his eye on. So yeah, he's coming with a barrage of shots, heavy pressure right off the jump. Um, but he can go the distance too. I've seen him in those wars. Like he can take a
Yeah.
shot too. He'll stand in the pocket and throw heavy. If he's got to eat one or two, he can do that.
Yeah, he's a
So he's
Michigan man, dude. He's a Michigan
he
man.
is. He's a Michigan man, and he's excited to put it on for his city. This is the first time he's actually on a main card, never mind a main event. He's been on the free fights every time, so I can't wait to see him. I hope he gets it done. And
Zach's
just because
tough too.
I want to, Kevin, I know Zach's a tough customer, man. He's got 2 quick knockouts, first round knockouts. The guy's no joke. But the Mohawk on the mic, bro, I feel like he's gonna bless us if he gets on that mic at the end. So, because not only a tough contender, but just an just entertaining human being though too. So
Yeah, the next step after you win a main event is getting into the breaking into that championship and try to get to that championship belt. I mean, and I think that's the way that it's kind of going. Do you think that Michigan puts out the energy? You think I personally believe that Michigan is going to put out the energy like it was Rome. I think Michigan's been waiting for the bare knucklers. I mean, they have ice. You know, up in that region, you have ice hockey, which you get all those fights. There's a lot of it in the north. I tell people, you only have football in the north because when it gets cold, you can't do anything else. You got hockey and football, right? So for those people, when it starts getting cold, they get something else added to it. So they want to get out of the house and be able to do things. I think this is going to be an extraordinary event.
yeah, and you know what? It's the fight nights always make me a little bit sad though. You know what I mean? They go quick. There's only
Very
9
quick.
fights on the card, and it feels like they cycle through them even faster.
Yeah.
So, I like to savor the flavor. Sometimes you get, it's a fight night. Next thing you know, it's like 5, 6 knockouts like that. And you're like,
And we're
please
always
let
fast,
one,
bro.
please let one go to the distance. Let me just
Yeah,
see one war. And you
dude.
know what? It's crazy because if you watch any other combat sports, it's the complete opposite. You'll be lucky to catch a knockout, but a lot of times you're just watching a long, drawn out fight. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it.
I get very excited too. I wish I could have gone to it. If I could have planned it out a little bit better, I'm going to the Hall of Fame, the Mixed Martial Arts Hall of Fame of Florida. They have an induction. So I won't be able to go to that one. But then it drags me to my next one. Now, this is the one I really want to go to. And there's no possibility. I have 4 events for my food truck this next week. The weekend after that, well, it's 2 weekends after that, November 15th. The Dyer versus Hunt, man. Now, this one is getting my blood boiling. The return of the Juggernaut versus the second time Dyer. Now, I think Dyer has made necessary adjustments to necessarily have a battle with him. I don't think he's going to lose his vision. I don't think he's going to get his contact knocked out. Do you think that this fight is any different? Do you think he's going to make changes? And how do you think it's going to go?
Oh, this fight's going to be very different right off the jump. And I'll tell you why. Because he's got LASIK now, so no contact issues. So he's going to be rolling. He's the champion. He wants to get this back. He wants this fight. It's not like he's, you know what I mean? He wants to prove himself. And I think he's on a mission, man. He's a big guy too. I know Hunt is massive.
Massive.
So, but he's a little bit older now too, and I feel like Dyer is at the top of his game. He's in his prime. And yeah, man, it's going to be a crazy fight though. Like Hunt, like the guy, you know, arguably one of the best to ever do it. Um Guy's got like 13, 14 fights in the BKFC, decorated ton of belts across multiple weight classes. So you can't overlook
Bad
Hunt.
Mama Kimmel.
Yeah, you can't overlook the juggernaut by any means. However, this is the best Dyer we've seen. Um, so yeah, I'm just as excited about this one as you are, my friend, because yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but this fight just got spicy. I'm glad I feel like it's a lot bigger fight now. It just makes more sense, you know. It's like a get back for Dyer, but Hunt's been out of the picture for a bit, so he's been kind of out of sight, out of mind. So yeah, I'm fucking excited for this one. I don't know, man. It's tough to
Uh,
call. I want
it
to
is a
say
very hard one. It's
I
very
want
hard.
to say
It's a hard
Dyer,
call.
but I just feel crazy ever going against Hunt.
Yeah. Well, it's a hard call to go against. Anybody you're going to go against when you do it. I mean, trust me, it's extremely difficult. This fight is going to be great. I'll tell you a couple things. I think we haven't seen Hunt, so you kind of forgot about him. But I think he's going to remind people as soon as he comes back in and what it is. I think that Dyer really wants this one, and he's done adjustments and done things to make sure that he's not a. My question to you is going to be: what adjustments do you think Dyer needed to make sure he wins? I'll tell you what I think personally is his movement. I think he can't be sitting as a standing target. And I think he's realized that with Hunt, you better move, put the body work in. I think if you're a standing target and you're going to sit there and take a punch, you cannot take one. I stood right next to Hunt. I took a picture with him. I'm like, this guy's not that big. And then I look next to him and how hunky he is. When I'm saying hunky, this dude is made of like, I don't know what it is. He's a big, 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 big dude. Like as far as like swole. He's a strong, strong man. So I think this is going to be one of those fights. But what kind of adjustments do you think he makes besides, I think, like I said, the movement aspect?
Yeah, well, that is it. Like he's referenced. Um, he's a
He
big
said he's
fan
going to
of
knock him
Dominic
out. By the
Cruz.
way, I had him on. He said he's going to
Yeah,
knock him out. So my bad,
that's
dude. But he told me he was going to knock him out.
yeah, yeah. Let's go. It's tough though. Like, you know, I just right away I'm thinking of Perry because that man, like, you know, anybody who's smaller coming up against him, he can take those shots early. He might get wobbled, but he's a hard dude to put out. And I don't know. It's hard to see Lorenzo get knocked out easy, but Dyer's a big, strong guy too. He's got good knockouts. His counter striking has really improved. Definitely
There's a,
since like his debut. He's I feel like that's a real strong strength of his. And yeah, I think he'll be moving good in there too. I do think man, it's gonna be good. This is a can't miss one. This is a big one.
I think this is one of the biggest of the year. So to me, it is, and it's just getting better every single weekend. I'm like, is an awesome card. Oh, this one's an awesome card. Oh, even better card. It keeps getting crazier and crazier. And I think it's going to get to that point because we're going to get the names. We keep building these names up. They're getting better and better and better. And you're like, all right, this guy's fought 5 times and he's had a great record. You know, there's guys inside here that are really starting to make their names inside here. Now let's talk about Hunt, man. If Hunt comes back, wins this title, what does that say about his legacy?
Man, he's already arguably one of the greatest of all time. You could throw his name in there for sure. Like even Dyer gives it up for him, you know what I mean? And says, yeah, arguably he's one of the best to ever do it. And I agree with that. His name is definitely in the mix with like the Palominos, whoever else you want to throw in there. But yeah, the amount of fights he has, even Faria, you got to throw her in there too. She's been around from day one, and
She's Mount
she's
Rushmore.
pretty.
She's a Mount
She,
Rushmore for
yeah,
fighting.
she's fierce too. So I feel like his name is in the mix there. I feel like Hunt is on that Mount Rushmore too.
Especially if he gets this next one for sure. I don't think there's any doubt about it. If he gets this win in the 15th, there's no way you etch him up there because you can come back from so long and be able to be so dominant for so long. Well, we talked about Palomino just a second ago, December 5th, the card that I know I'm going to be at. We have a lot of people that I like, the Florida guys. I'm a Florida man, but Trout versus Palomino. This is the second fight that they've had. I don't know what do you think? Is it going to be any different than the times before? But I think Trout has only been getting better, and Trout has gotten better and better. And I think this one is going to be a banger too. I think Palomino's got something in store for Trout, and I think this is going to be one of those fights that we're going to really fall in love with.
Oh, for sure. The first one was an absolute classic. Um, Razor sharp. Like it was
Yeah,
so close. It was so close. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't even know if I'm okay with that they gave it to Trout, but I wouldn't have been mad if they gave it to Palomino either. Like it was that close. Trout, I feel like maybe did a little bit more. Um, you know, was a little bit cleaner with the strikes, caught him here and there, but it's gonna be a war. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's not gonna be pretty. It's gonna get ugly in there. It's gonna be a war, and that's another huge fight. Like yeah. It's almost
yeah. I
like
think
when I
so.
saw Tenaglia Soto, they were supposed to rematch before Tenaglia fell out and Bonner stepped in, which was crazy as well, right?
That's great.
Um,
Yeah.
but
So this
yeah,
is the
when I
other
think
half of it,
about
though.
that rematch, I think about, it's gonna be it's another big card right to the end of the year. You're right. Like each week they just keep getting better. Like, I thought it was the king and queen of violence. And don't get me wrong, that was massive. But they
Massive.
just they just keep pumping them out. So it's hard to keep up and it's almost overwhelming, but they're doing excellent, man. I'm impressed with the amount of cards they are putting out and how they are able to do it on a weekly basis now. So
Yeah, you got
hats
to come
off to
down here, dude.
Feldman.
You better get down here. I've been talking to Knuckles to Knives, and we're talking about doing an
Yeah.
Airbnb and trying to do an Airbnb down there, so it'd be cheaper for all of us to throw down. But December 5th, bro, I'll be there, and we can talk about an Airbnb, and then we'll talk about December 20th because that's in Connecticut. That's a little closer to you, so I'm going to be at that one at the Mohegan. But let's ask about this, Palomino. If he can pull this off, let's talk about legacy, dude. Let's talk about real legacy. If he can pull it off, towards the end of his career, and he's been a dog for a long time. But if he can pull this one off, what does it say about him?
Yeah, he's another Mount Rushmore guy too, man. Like the baboon. He's an yeah, like he's already considered possible goat, right?
Yeah,
I can't argue it. I can't even say who I think is the GOAT because I'm conflicted. I couldn't narrow it down to just one person in one weight class. But you know what I mean? Like, look at Hunt. He was going for that third title. He broke his arm, unfortunately, in that heavyweight bout. He would have had three division champion. So, if he won that fight, then you know what I mean? I might be like,
yeah,
oh,
I,
the
I
three
do.
division champion.
I'm right with you. I think that Hunt is like Mount Rushmore. Ferreira is Mount Rushmore. Palomino's up there. I think Trout wins this one over Palomino and it could really define his career. I think Trout's one of those guys that's starting to get to be one of those defining guys. Dude, Trout is a manimal. He is a very good fighter. Everybody at that camp, dude, like they have some guys, Taj Mahal, they have Ferreira, they have and Trout. They have a bunch of guys in that camp that are just it's getting better for that camp over and over and over again. Well, let's play matchmaker, dude. This is my favorite part of the day. I like doing the matchmaking because we have people like Ben Rothwell that I keep bringing up that I want to see get a fight. I don't know if it's him avoiding a fight or is it him waiting for the $25 million call out. I mean, I thought Perdomo was going to get that fight, but apparently he's going to fight someone else, which is crazy. And they haven't announced that one yet, but I can't wait till they do it because I know it's coming very, very soon. And it's not, Perdomo is not fighting for Ben Rothwell. So now we're in a spot where Ben Rothwell needs to fight somebody, right? We got to get him a fight before, what is it, Knucklemania, when it will probably start, the tournament starts. So let's find out, who should we get and who would you put in there besides Perdomo? Because I know Perdomo ain't it. Who would you pick?
It's hard to find Ben a fight, man. He's a big, scary dude. I don't know too many people would want to get in there with him. Here's just one off the top of my head, and it's not gonna happen because he already said he wants to move down. But I was just thinking maybe like a Yoel in there. That'd be an interesting combo. But yeah, it's hard to find people who get in there with Big Ben, right?
Yeah, he said, and I've heard it talk, Andre Arlovsky or the $25 million title. So he talked about Arlovsky, and I'm like, dude, I don't really necessarily like that. I do. I mean, I would like it as a fan. Like, it would be an awesome fight. It's two veterans going toe to toe. I like Anthony Garrett and I like Perdomo. There was a couple guys inside there that I like. I like Parker Porter. That's another guy up in the top that I think that he could give him some real trouble. Parker Porter is really good. So there's some guys up in that top that are leaking towards there. Then I think Parker Porter, if he can get his hands on him, could cause Ben some trouble. I think there's all kind of guys, as far as we're talking about, in the world that would give him trouble. Now, who can beat him? And Ben is a funky guy. He's a weird guy. And he's one of those dudes that it's hard to get your hands on him. And then once you do get your hands on it, it's hard to put him away. I've watched it for years. I've watched the dude. He's tough. So, I mean, that's one of the fights I really want to see. Now, let's move on to the next one. It's one of our people that I think is near and dear for me and you. We're at Mike Perry again. Now, Mundell got pulled off the November 15th card. He got pulled off of that card. Now we're at a spot where he doesn't have a fight. Mike Perry doesn't have a fight. I know I want to see that fight. But what are we going to do at this point? We got to make him fight, or are we going to give another prize fight out? That's my question.
I think we need to make this fight. And I don't know. I know you don't want to see it at Knucklemania because it should be the Battle of Florida. You know what I mean? I
I'll do
wouldn't mind coming
Knucklemania,
out to
dude.
Florida.
I'll do anywhere if we get this fight. I really want to see it.
Yeah, but I think you hype it up and you throw it on a huge card like Knucklemania, and yeah, because I want to see it sooner than later. But I don't know how Mike's feeling now. If he's ready to roll after that fight with Jer, he might need some time still.
I
But
think he has enough
Knucklemania is
time.
what, February?
February. So it would be well enough time. You get like 6 months. He'll get 2 months off for maybe 3 months off. I don't really know what the body gave him. So they'll tell him what he has to do suspension wise. It might be 90 days. It could be 120 days. But if you get 90, that's 3 months, and it still gives you enough time to go in. And I think they get some long ones. But he was still talking. He was at the press conference after we got done. So he showed up for the press conference. I think Mundell is the only one that makes sense whatsoever, bro. Like, to me, it's the only one that makes sense. I want to see Robbie Lawler. Trust me. I want to see Darren Till. There's some guys in there I want to see, but let's wait it out. I think that Mundell, he gets a strap. If he can beat Mundell and he gets a strap, it only adds monetary value. But if he loses, I mean, you got your cash cow. He kind of loses some money involved. And so it gets to a point where I understand the gamble, but you got to be the juice is worth the squeeze to me. To me, it is.
Yeah, they've built this fight already. Like, they've had how many face-offs across how many different events and press conferences. You had the Champions Summit facing off against them there. They did it after the King of Violence fight. This fight has to happen.
Bad blood
Everybody,
in the
the
audience,
tempers
too,
are
dude.
boiling.
Bad blood in the audience. They
Tempers
were
are
fighting
boiling.
towards each other. Like their
What's
families
that?
were fighting. Their families were fighting with each other. Remember, you were at the press conference when they were or not press conference, the weigh-ins, and they were fighting. Like the family members were fighting with each other.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there, man. I feel like that was I feel like people took that the wrong way, and I'm not even 100% sure of what happened exactly because Dave was there taking pictures and all smiles, and then I feel like people started chirping him first, and then he was just kind of like, "Yeah, well, fuck you too," and maybe didn't even realize who it was, and then okay, yeah, fuck you too, da da da. But I don't
I
know.
was right there.
I feel like they're portraying him as a bad guy on that, and I don't know if I necessarily agree. It's just choice timing.
Yeah, I was right there. He was just sitting there signing autographs, and I heard some yelling. But the other dude was so far away. I know he didn't want to fight with him because I mean, are you crazy enough to go walking up to Dave Mandel and you talk shit? You know what the fuck's about to happen. I don't think
Yeah,
he has
you
any. I
don't.
don't think he has any kind of stoppage in him. I think he's gonna hurt you, dude. Well, tell me about this. This is one of the ones that I want to see. 135. Let's get to matchmaking. Who goes for the belt at 135?
Like I said, it's. I feel like it's got to be Royal Ryan Reaver and Justin Ibarola, Joy Boy. I feel like that's the fight that's been kind of building, bubbling up. Um, I don't know if. Yeah, I feel like they think that's the fight to make as well. So I know you had a different name in mind though.
Yeah, dude. I just think Maines is there. I think after that last fight, that body shot, he can get to 125. He's hit to 135. He can take two belts. He's got all that tenacity. If you're laying people down with body shots like that, dude, you're a nasty dude. And I just only think with this range, he's tall. He's like 5'10. So he's a long, lanky guy. He can really cause damage inside there. And I think him versus Ryan. I think Ryan is the matchup to be. I'll take any of it. I just want to put a belt there and get it going because we have a pretty good stacked 135 moving. And he said he could get down to 125. And if he can get 135 and get Dodson at 125, I think he can win both of those fights. So it would be very, very entertaining to see those champions. Those are ones I really want to go out and see. And I know that no one wants to see double champs, but man, it makes the business a lot better. To me, it does. I love seeing double champs.
Yeah, see, it's strange too because like I've heard them say it before. I've heard fighters tell me, uh, but I feel like it is situational, right? Like look back at the Hunt thing. He was going for his third belt. Like that was maybe that was a different time then, but it wasn't that long ago.
Nah.
And some of these divisions, they don't have a lot of people around them. So they're like, okay, maybe we don't want just one person running these ones. So I feel like maybe some of the lower, like even some of the women's divisions that haven't really been built up yet, maybe they don't want them being double champs. But I really don't know, man, because I didn't think they did either. But yeah, look at Lorenzo, right? He was about to be three division weight champion before he broke his
Yeah,
arm there.
I get it, dude. And I understand, unless you're super active, I know why you don't want to have them. You need to be active with the belt and you want to always be fighting. And if you have three, that's crazy. That's like some Superman
Injuries,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, three belts is wild, man. So I mean, and Maines could possibly do that, dude. If he can get to 125, he's 5'10. I mean, he's got it. And then there's a couple people I think inside the divisions that can do kind of the same thing. I mean, we got some nasty dudes running around in BKFC, and it's only a matter of time before you start weeding out. Like to me, there's still some people in there that don't always necessarily belong in the BKFC. That they got people still fighting inside of it, right? I think that eventually in the next year or two, they will all be weeded out, and then you'll have prospects coming in, you'll have young fighters, you'll have veterans. I think in 2 years you're going to be looking at like a very refined system of fighting every weekend.
Yeah, you're getting a lot more guys coming in from different um
Yeah, boxers,
different
MMA
disciplines. You know
fighters,
what I
Muay
mean?
Thai.
Yeah, you're getting the MMA, you're getting some Muay Thai guys in there. You know, guys want to try it now. The awareness is there. People are seeing it. Some people are like, okay, they want to test these fighters. They want to get in there. So in the like the cards are coming every week. Like they're putting on a lot of cards. So there's a lot of people fighting for the BKFC right now. I feel like their roster is definitely grown
It,
substantially.
that's all it's doing, dude. And I'm gonna give you one more, and I'm gonna give you one of my personal friends, Edgar, the Dream Killer Pelosa. And now, who do you want to see him
Go.
fight? because I know that I've talked to him, and I think the only thing that's logical is a belt shot. I just don't know if I don't think he's going to be fighting anytime in the next couple of months. I think they're looking at April or maybe March to have him fight. Now, if that's the case, that means Kai is going to be taking another fight. So we can't put Pelosa versus Kai. Who do you think, and who would you like to see fight Kai, King Kai at that, for the belt?
I don't know, man. I don't know who this other fight could be. Like they mentioned that too,
Terry
but
Brown.
I don't. What's that?
Brown.
Brown?
Yeah.
James Get Down Brown?
I mean, so not Terry. James to Get Down Brown. Yes. James
Get
Brown.
Down Brown.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a tough customer. I
They've
like
been kind of chippy
James.
towards each
I
other.
like
They've been talking shit.
I like James, but you know what? I really thought Edgard would be the one just because of, he's done the work. Even that fight with Fox, I felt like that was a title elimination fight. They talked about it in the past, so I was really surprised that it's not Plaza Ola, but that's a great fight too, James Get Down Brown. But I feel like maybe Edgar sits out until the title because fuck, he deserves it, man. And
He
what
just
is a
beat the
lot like
145 champ. Yeah, Gary Fox was the 145-pound champ. He was pretty dominant in that fight, dude. I mean, that fight was pretty damn dominant against another champion. I think he's earned this title shot, so I'm right there with you too.
yeah, that fight blew the roof off that place too.
Oh
Like that
yeah,
was a crazy fight.
best fight of the night. That was the fight of the
Yes.
night. Is the best fight.
That was a crazy card too, man. That was a big card. But
Yeah,
that
it was
was a
awesome.
huge fight, and it was a lot of quick finishes that night. So when that one came and went to the distance, that was that nice refreshment, slow the pace because man, I was looking at the watch. It was like, fuck, it's 8:30, man. This thing's about to be over.
Yeah, that was the only problem with these BKFC things. It's like 9 out of 10 fights end in finishes. It's very like you'll see like roar, and you'll see them walk in and it's just over after that. You're like, oh shit, and they're bleeding, and you're talking to
Yeah.
them like, hey, are you all right? And they're like, yeah, I'm great. I want to do it again. It's like, I don't know if I want to do it again. So it's been like that. Well, dude, it's been a pleasure talking with you. I'm glad you're doing all right. I hope the family is doing well. We're going to keep doing this every week, bro. This is something we got to keep doing. We got to keep getting better. Got to keep grinding. And so I definitely
Let's go.
appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for having me, brother. Chris with Combat Loops, keeping me in the loop, baby. You're
Yeah,
towing
dude.
the
You got to
line
keep it
with
up.
Bare Knuckle Jared, Throwing Hands Podcast. Let's go.
Throw them hands, baby. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, dude.
Take care, Chris. Thanks for having me, brother.